Good evening. Welcome to the Ogden City Council meeting for December 4th, 2012. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present with the exception of Councilmember Stevens, who is asked to be excused tonight. And we will now have Vice Chair Blair lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now have a moment of silence. Thank you. First is a request to be on the agenda, and this is the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, and we have a presentation of the Sunset Report for 2012, and I think it's Ed Budge that'll...
Ed Bridge is going to introduce and get others involved, I understand. And Ed's been looking forward to this for weeks.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the council, Mayor Caldwell, and Mr. Johnson. We're here to present the Sunset Report for the Park and Recreation Committee. And this committee has been very vital and it's very important to the success of recreation in the parks in Ogden City. To present the Park and Recreation Sunset Report is the 2012 State of Utah Park and Recreation Volunteer of the Year and Committee Member Tony Eiseminger.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Tony Eiseminger. I've met some of you and talked to some of you. Little history behind me, the reason I wanted to be on this board is I've lived in Ogden since '92, and we used to, up to about 5 years ago, a lot of us were leaving the city to go play other places in sports and just enjoy their parks because we were so frustrated with a lot of things that was happening. And since then, a lot of us have come back in the community to start playing in these parks again and enjoy the city. And because of a lot of the new people that are running these parks and the recreation departments for us. So I just want to let you know a little history behind us, me, as where I'm at, why I want to be on this committee. So with that, I would like to jump right into the agenda here. So we're going to talk about the committee members, the summary of the previous committee of between 2007 to 2012 accomplishments, the committee purpose and goals, the committee support issues, the special events, and the goals for us for 2012. The Park and Recreation Advisory Committee members, I'd like to introduce some of them. The members are John Stein. If you're here, can you please stand up? Here's John Stein. Daniel Turner. Juan Martinez, he's in the back there. Sterling Harris. Brandon Egan. Adam Matoya. Nathan Packham, and then you know me, and then Sarah Easley, and then our executive officials is Ed Bridge and Perry Huffay here, sitting in the back. The previous committee's accomplishments for 2007 to 2012, they developed Park and Recreation Advisory Committee goals, helped determine additional community recreation park needs through the comprehensive with other communities and being involved with the planning divisions on their community planning efforts. They worked with Ogden City School District to complete the development of the Browning Park and the recreation facilities, implemented for the first shared turf maintenance program with the Ogden City School District, and Mount Ogden pickleball courts and the canopy areas. They supported park and recreation special events, including Arbor Day, Utah State High School All-Star Baseball Games, National Trail Days, Pioneer Day Rodeos, softball tournaments, the Christmas Village, and the volleyball tournaments. They also supported plans to improve and replace playground equipment at all the city parks. Continuous support of our partnership with Weber State University in accessing our river resources. Continuous support of the growth and improvements of the Ogden Trail networks. Work closely with the soccer organizations to reserve the city soccer fields. And support for the development and installation of the first pet park in Ogden. Committee accomplishments from 2007 to 2012 for RAMP. They received RAMP funding for trail improvements, Ogden Paddle Festival, the Glassman Pond improvements, 4th Street Ballpark infill baseball dirt, portable pitching mounds, Ogden River restoration, Park Improvement Phase 1, Trail Cat, and Lauren Farr ultraviolet disinfected light system. Now, the committee's purpose, duties, and goals. The purpose of the Park and Recreation Advisory Committee reviews the recreation needs of the community which fall within the realm of the Recreation Department and the Public Ways and Park Division. The committee is linked with other Ogden City committees such as the Trail Committee, the Planning Commission, and takes part in the approval process for projects involving the city's recreation activities and facilities and trails and parks. In 2008, the Park and Recreation Committee held several meetings to define the purpose and duties and goals of the committee. These newly established duties and goals have provided direction for the committee. A copy of the committee's goals have been provided to each one of you, so I don't know if you each have your own. The committee supported issues. The Ogden City Dog Park. The importance and the need for an Ogden City Dog Park was realized by the committee, and the effort in achieving the dog park was supported through discussion and regarding the design and location and ordinance of the potential issue, the approval of the plans, and the letter of support. The committee supported issues, open space plan. The importance and need for the open space plan was realized by this committee, and then support of the issue has been ongoing through committee discussion to support the planning, representation, participation on the Ogden City Planning Commission, and review and approval of the proposed open space plans. The committees to support events. Arbor Day, Christmas Village, Make a Difference Day, National Trail Day, Pioneers Day Rodeo, and the Utah State High School All-Star Baseball Games. Now, these are some of the goals for us for 2012. Support and develop of high adventure sports. Continue to support the improvements of Lauren Farr Pool and Water Slide. Continue to explore alternate funding sources for the park and recreation projects. Continue to work with the community organizations to improve the park and recreation facilities within the Ogden City, including 4th Street Ballpark, Serge Simmons, and Castile Ballparks. And you also have Bonneville, Moreau, Liberty Park baseball fields, city tennis pickleball courts, Ogden City Park System, to continue to support the growth and improvement of the Ogden City Trail Network, continue to complete for RAMP funds to assist in funding parks and recreation projects, and continue to support the Recreation Department's programs for the youth and the adults. So in turn, our new committee is really looking forward to do whatever we can to help improve Ogden City in any way we can within the trails and whatever they lead us down to for the parks. And on a sidebar, I want to really thank everybody that worked with us to try to help 4th Street. That was a great start, you know, 4th Street, the improvements we're doing down there, and make it a more safer park for everybody. So, and in turn, I don't know if anybody has any questions for me that I could answer, or don't be scared.
Any questions for Tony?
Nope.
Tony, we appreciate your support and your enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Thanks to you, everybody.
Thank you. And with that, we'll move to the next agenda item. And Tony mentioned several of the committee members. So next is the proposed ordinance to extend the committee sunset provision to March 15th, 2015.
I move that we accept the proposed amendment 2012-53, extending the committee and the sunset provision to March of 2015.
I'll second that.
We have a motion from Councilmember Van Hooser and a second from Councilmember Heyer to adopt proposed ordinance 2012-53. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Gochner?
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer?
Aye.
Councilmember Van Hooser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wicks?
Aye.
Vice Chair Blair?
Aye.
Chair Garner?
Aye, this passes. Thank you, and keep up the good work, and we look forward to hearing more from you. And we do have letters for those members who are here.
That would be on the next agenda item, I think.
Sorry, the appointments. Okay, and now we'll move to the appointments for the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. Right, and
I'll make a motion to approve the Parks and Rec appointments.
Second.
we have a motion from Councilmember Gochner and a second from Vice Chair Blair to approve the appointments for the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we'll move to presenting letters for those who are here. And those members are John Stein, as was mentioned, Nathan Packham, Tony Isaminger, Daniel Turner, Juan Martinez, Sterling Harris, Adam Montoya, and Brandon Egan, and Sarah Yearsley. So thank you guys, and we wish you well, and thank you for supporting us. Next is the Ogden Housing Authority Board and consideration of the appointment of Ward Ogden.
I will go ahead and make a motion that we appoint Ward Ogden to the Ogden Housing Authority Board.
And I'll second it.
We have a motion from Vice Chair Blair and a second from Councilmember Gochner for the Ogden Housing Authority Board for the appointment of Ward Ogden. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? He's not here tonight, but we are glad that he's accepted this. And next is the Ogden Trails Network Committee and consideration of their reappointments of those listed on the agenda.
I move that we accept the reappointment and the appointments of the new Ogden Trails Network Committee.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Van Hooser and a second from Vice Chair Blair. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This passes. Next is the approval of minutes. And, sorry, are there any members from the Ogden Trails Network here tonight? Let's talk about who these guys are. Richard White, Ron Thornburg, Mike Joseph, and if you're here, we'll have Amy notice that. David Stewart, Jerome Berg, Ian Houghton, Juan Barentius, Perry Huffaker, and the appointment of Darren Giordano, and Tim Peterson, David Owen, Sam Henry, and Sarah Yearsley for Ogden Trails Network Committee. Thank you all for being here tonight, and keep up the good work. You know how much we love our trails. Thank you. And next is approval of minutes for the work session of May 9th, 2012. Councilmember Gochner.
Thank you. I have reviewed those and found them to be accurate.
And the regular meeting of May 15th, 2012, and the joint study session of May 22nd, 2012. Councilmember Heyer.
Yes, Chair Garner, I have reviewed the minutes of both of those meetings and found them to be accurate.
Thank you. And the joint work session of October 30th, 2012. Councilmember Van Hooser.
These minutes are correct to the best of my recollection, and I move that we approve all the above minutes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilmember Van Hooser and a second from Councilmember Wicks to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And next is common consent items, and a motion to approve the items on common consent for the arts grant for the fiscal year 2012-13 and the mid-year fee changes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion from Councilmember Van Hooser and a second from Councilmember Heyer to set the public hearing for December 18th for the items on common consent. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We'll have that public hearing for those items on that day. And next is administration reports. Mr. Johnson.
The arts grants, oh no, excuse me. Justice Court repair will be by Laurie Johnson and also by Richard Brookins, if necessary. Usually ladies first, but you were told. I know you were told.
I'm passing this off. Council Chair, council members, pleased to be here tonight. We're going to chat a little bit about what happened with the bid for the Justice Court roof. The original estimates didn't include removing 2 layers of existing roofing, which is required by ordinance, so we had to go through. There was a cost involved with that. They had to replace a lot of the flashing that wasn't anticipated. Several areas of that roof have high areas to them that required additional build-up to get the drainage and stuff to keep the water from coming into the building. And then the last thing is the cost of the roofing material and stuff has gone up. And unfortunately, it was substantial for the last 2 years. So, other questions about the roof or where we're at?
Is the roof repairs almost finished or finished?
They actually have the railing up. They're ready to take the roof off. They're waiting on material to get here just because of the weather to stay ahead of it. They've cored the roof to determine how deep the insulation is under the roof and stuff. And so they're ready to do this in sections. They're trying to work with the court folks to make sure they're not interrupting them up there banging and clanging while they're trying to do court. So they're on track to get it done here within the next 30 days, hopefully. Okay.
Questions for Richard? Laurie.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. I'd just like to go over very quickly the budget transfer and the financial impact of this transfer. As it was stated in the transmittal, the original fiscal year 2013 CIP plan included an appropriation for the Justice Court roof of $50,500. And during this bid process, as Richard explained, an additional $53,940 would be required to complete the project. And due to the impending inclement weather, and we feel like this Justice Court roof is just such a critical project that we requested to use critical contingency funds, which had a balance of $100,014 to use for this funds. Well, when a project is more than 10%, there's more than a 10% change, that project needs to come before the council through resolution, and that's what you see before you tonight. As far as fiscal impact, just to give an overview of the critical contingency fund within the CIP, at the end of fiscal year 12, there were $22,014. As I stated before, there was a $78,000 appropriation in the fiscal year 2013 budget, which gave the balance of $100,014. With the use of, for the justice roof repair of $53,940, it will leave a balance of $46,074. And what this fund does is it's a transfer simply within the CIP fund. It's not moving it with any other funds within the city. So it would move the $53,940 from the critical contingency account to the Justice Court roof repair account in the same amount. So the net effect to the CIP fund would be zero as a net effect. Any questions on this budget transfer, the calculations at all? It's really quite simple, but hopefully it was visible enough you could understand what we're doing here. And we would recommend that you pass the resolution so that we can move these funds and continue on with the repair of the Justice Court roof.
Questions? Okay, any further discussion?
If there's no further discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion to adopt the proposed project.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilmember Gochner and a second from Councilmember Van Hooser to adopt this proposed resolution. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Heyer?
Aye.
Councilmember Van Hooser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wicks?
Aye.
Councilmember Gochner?
Aye.
Vice Chair Blair?
Aye.
Chair Garner?
Aye. This passes. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the UTA ski bus service and a ski bus interlocal agreement. Mr. Johnson.
My eyes are out of focus, or that is.
No, I mean,
thank you for approving the ski bus, or the, not ski bus, but the roof. When we found out that the costs had increased so dramatically, we came to the conclusion that we could either spend a lot of money on umbrellas or fix the roof, and we decided that fixing the roof was a little more long-term, so it has gotten quite bad over there, so we don't want Justice to be wet. So thank you for letting me come talk tonight. I decided to bring a picture so that you kind of get in the mood for the topic, and we got to think snow. Someone told me they were doing a snow dance every night, and I told them they needed to do a different dance because that one isn't working, so we'll hope it is. In the audience today, we have some people who've been key in working through something that has been worked on for a number of years. We have a familiar face, Mr. Robert Hunter, who is actually a member of the UTA board. We're grateful for his support on that board and what he does to try and help our great city, and we thank him, and he wanted to be here tonight as a show of support from the board. We also have Bruce Carden, who is the UTA regional king. Is it king? King. Okay. King. Bruce has been working with us and worked hard to try and put this deal together, and I think the person who probably deserves the most credit and who's worked the hardest is Sarah Tolliver. And I know Sarah's sitting back here, but I can't thank Sarah enough. This has been something that she's championed for a long time, and she's put a lot of effort, and how grateful I am for her contribution. Also involved was Commissioner Zogmeister, who's not here, but I think the negotiations have been a long time. It seems like we've negotiated years in just the last few months trying to put this together. This started when UTA had some buses that they replaced from ski service in Salt Lake that were at the end of the life but not dead, and felt that they could get a few more years of service out of these buses. And when they first came to us, the first proposal was a little unattainable financially for all the parties concerned, and as we negotiated and as we worked, we've massaged. To the credit of UTA, they came forward with and put a lot more onto the table to try and help this deal come together, and we thank them for that. They will be providing 8 ski buses and the care of those buses along with the operators and all that goes along with that. They will also be maintaining all of the stops except for one, and we, because of our relationship with the Kings, have already gone and negotiated and have signage up. I understand you give Jay Latter an assignment, it's done. And the Kings have been very amenable to having a stop at in their parking structure, which will be, I think, very convenient for many, many people. I have to tip my hat also to the ski resorts. I think that Snow Basin and Powder Mountain, who didn't have an exceptional ski year last year, nothing budgeted for ski buses, were able to come forward with some funds to go towards this proposal. Our hope is that this year can be successful, and that hopefully we can break even, all of us, and then look forward to maybe a longer planning period for the next year. And I think that that's kind of where we want to be headed. I think your council memo has outlined very well whose responsibilities are whose, but I just wanted to cover Ogden City's for just a moment. For many years, the CVB has operated a shuttle, not a bus, not a ski bus by any stretch of the imagination, to try and get visitors to the hotels up to the ski resorts. They have done a marvelous job at doing that, and the contribution level that the city has given has been a lot less than what Weber County has. Weber County has contributed about $60,000 to $65,000 every year. The city, I think the first year contributed a little more, and then we've pared it back to 20 for the last few years. As we started to look at this as, we benefit as much as Weber County does, that we felt it was unfair, the contribution levels that the county has based on what and where we have. And so we're proposing to you that we pay a total of $65,000. The county has increased theirs to 70 so that we can make things pencil. And then we've said that we would throw in another $5,000 for marketing, and I'll go through some of those marketing plans so that you know. And we're a little late in the game on the marketing, but it's still really important, I think, to get people's attention about the ski bus. Our hope is that this is decreasing over the next few years. Our hope is not to be at this level every year, but we're proposing that this money come from the hotel tax, which I think is an appropriate place for it to come. Our hope is that we can get the citizens of our community and outlying communities to use the ski bus. Our hope is that the kids who want to ski, similar to when they want to go to Lagoon in the summer, will get on the ski bus and be able to ride up there, and it'll save their parents a trip, especially if they want to go to Powder Mountain, which will be a good deal. So our hope is that we can take care of that. We're responsible to negotiate the park and ride at the Rainbow Gardens, which we have done. Our responsibilities for, to help with some of the stops and maybe a crosswalk are also not listed in the agreement, but they're important that we do. What is, the questions that the council had asked is what, as council staff had asked, is what is identified as the target ridership level. We're trying to get break even financially, and we think if the ski resorts, if their people will catch on and try and ride the buses in the morning and evening bus, and if we can do good, then we can start to fill up the ridership. But I think our goal at the end of the day is that everybody we break even and we know where that is. I don't know that we've really, I'm sure UTA has identified a ridership level that they'd like to have, but I don't know that we have identified that. Our goal is to try and do some marketing and put as many people as we can on the buses. What other factors will determine the continuing of the ski service? I believe the condition of the buses is going to be number one. We'll see how they do after the first season. They don't have a ton of life left in them, but we're hoping that we can get 2, maybe 3 seasons out of those buses. Ski resort support, I mean, a lot of this is conditional on them being supportive in the next year, and they have to have a good experience, I think, this year and snow. And then ticket sales, are we putting riders on the bus? I think those are the 3 things that we'll be looking at. It was asked about the stops. I think we've tried to consolidate stops so that the bus doesn't take forever to get there. And so we have limited the stops. We're not pulling right into each of the hotels. We're allowing strategic stops where the hotel guests can come and catch the bus. There'll be 3 really general public places to catch the bus. One is at the Intermodal Hub down by the Front Runner Station. One is at Stop and Shop's parking lot, and then one is at Rainbow Gardens. And then beyond the canyon, there will be a couple stops on each route, both for the Powder Mountain bus and for the Snow Basin bus. Marketing, we have ideas. UTA is going to place billboard ads on ski buses. The Ogden School District has given us permission to send home flyers with each of the kids in the school district. Weber County School District has given permission to be able to post the information in each of their schools. Ski Utah will send an email blast to each of the kids and parents in Weber and Davis County who have registered for the 5th and 6th grade passport program. Ski Utah will promote on their website and then their communications. Ogden City will place information in the water bill and on their website. Ogden City will post on the 31st Street billboard, you know, that reader board as you come in to the community. The county will request that other cities in the county place information on the website, on their websites, and in their communication with their residents, such as water bills and newsletters. And posters will be printed and placed in the usual locations: historic 25th Street, Weber State University, the Junction, etc.
So are we going to put posters up at the ski resort too, in the lodges? Because
And I'm not done yet,
okay.
But let me get through. A press release will be distributed to all other media outlets. My guess is that that's starting to hit because we've seen some press already. And if you go home, watch Fox 13, you might be able to see the commissioner and the mayor on there. Hopefully you did something hilarious, so it'll be fun to watch. I don't know. Facebook ads will be placed targeting Ogden City residents. Social media outlets will be utilized by Ogden City, Ogden Weber Convention and Visitors Bureau, Powder Mountain, Snow Basin, only in Ogden, historic 25th Street, Goal, etc. Ogden Canyon Water Pipeline Project messaging will include the ski bus information. Powder Mountain and Snow Basin will promote on their websites. The CVB will include its marketing to visitors in social media, pay-per-click campaign, keyword search campaign, banner ad campaign, website, newsletter, and Getaway Today. And Getaway Today is actively pursuing Mesa, Phoenix area with packages here in Utah for ski, hotels, etc. And the ski bus will become part of what they advertise down there to get people to come fly into Ogden and be able to utilize packages here in our community.
What about the idea of from the airport? I know when people are coming into the airport and then they have to get a car to go somewhere.
I believe...
Are we going to actively advertise that they could be on a
ski
train?
Bus, absolutely.
No, not on a ski bus, but I'm saying once the front runner or whatever we're calling it that goes to the airport, I don't know when that's activated, how soon that will be, if it'll still be during the ski season.
You mean to the Salt Lake Airport?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it would be a great idea. We'll add that to the list. That's a very good idea.
And something else too that I think would be missing with some of these methods is to maybe see if this, all the ski resorts have a list. Season pass holders have given their email and contact information. Yeah. If they want it to be a success, maybe it would be worth it to ask them to send an email out to their season pass holders. And
we have been told that they're going to do that with the ones they have email addresses for. So.
And putting things up, I think it's important to have something up at the lodge, but also at the bus stop at the resort. Right. So you know what time what times it's available, and maybe have some better signage that shows how long it takes and what time it leaves from the
Good
starting
comment.
place.
I think we're looking at that at least from the Rambo Gardens because we have control over that stop. But yes, that's a great comment, and we'll do what we can in that area.
Because I ride Front Runner quite a bit, and it just seems sometimes the signage that UTA provides is lacking.
Well,
not to be critical.
And I'm sure that since we have a board member here, that's not going on deaf ears, so. What? Wake him up.
With the opening too of the Provo station, I mean, you could come from Provo and ski in Ogden just very easily if they know it's available. If you have all the...
Right. The last question I think I have not answered is who's going to be doing the marketing. We're actually going through the CVB. This is what they do. And so we're going to be, they're going to take charge of this, which we're very comfortable with, and let them go forward with it. So
I think we do need to be cognizant, though, if we really want it to succeed, we have to have local residents utilizing it.
That's right.
I mean, tourists are fine, but they come and go, and they're kind of in waves. And if we want, regular ridership, I think we have to depend on.
I've penciled in that one of our sources is going to be you, that you'll help us get the word out, right? Because we want it to be successful, and this goes along with the same concept of the idle-free thought processes you're having. We want less people driving up the canyons, And I think this does a lot towards that. So we hope you'll come enjoy. I think there's going to be one free day where they're going to encourage people to come ride the bus. We're hoping that you'll go take a ride and go up to the ski resorts. It'll be fun. But I think once you have that experience, it's easier to go tell people, hey, I rode it. That's a lot of fun, and we had a great time. And I think that will help us a great deal.
Do we know the transit times from downtown up to the resorts? It wasn't really clear.
I believe they've timed it, and I think it's an hour-ish to Snow Basin and probably just a hair more to Powder Mountain. They've been doing the practice training the drivers. We went up to see Powder Mountain one day, and Sarah and I got behind the training bus, and they know how to go slow, I can tell you that. I was the most patient that I've seen Sarah driving, so. Tonight, we're asking if you would approve the interlocal agreement that involves a UTA, Weber County, and Ogden City. And then we'll all, in a second motion, we would ask that you would set the public hearing for the budget opening. We know it's a little bit backwards, but we've been working very hard to get this together and get it ready to go. And so we hope you'll forgive us for having this a little bit ski-wumpus, but we've worked very hard on this for a long period of time, and we're grateful and happy to be able to come and present this to you.
Mark, I was trying to pay real close attention, to all the advertising and marketing. And is Weber State one of the partners with this marketing?
We're gonna market up at Weber State, yes.
I'd love to get them, come down to downtown, hop the bus.
We'd love it too.
I know. Okay.
I just have one question. It's not really a marketing question or an interlocal, but are there going to be punch passes or season passes or anything like that other than employees?
We've missed well, I think yes, they can, and UTA will honor people who have the passes to ride other places. We've kind of missed the window for the ski resort to be able to sell their season passes along with a bus pass.
I know in Salt Lake that your transit pass is not good for ski service, and I see a head.
So we might have Bruce come up and just address that.
Come on.
The way the ski passes work, if you have an Ed Pass or an Eco Pass, they are not valid. If you have a monthly pass or if you pay cash for bus service that connects to the ski service, then it does count towards the ride. So if you have a regular monthly pass, that counts for $2.35 towards the fare. The total fare is $4.25, so they'd have to pay the difference.
Just to clarify, Ed Pass meaning Weber State students can't use that transit?
Correct. Yes, Weber State and the employers did not pay for that option, so.
For the rec option?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. But you still look at it, you can't drive your car to Powder Mountain for $9. Not in a million years. Not unless you got a bike and you're pedaling, but. That's a good question. Thank you for clarifying. I almost gave false information.
Questions for Mr. Johnson?
Thank you for considering this. And again, I thank Sarah for all her hard work.
And at this time, we'll receive public input on the ski bus interlocal agreement. The ski bus, and then further discussion.
If there's no further discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2012-28.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Gochner and a second from Vice Chair Blair to adopt this proposed interlocal agreement. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Van Hoosier?
Aye.
Councilmember Wicks?
Aye.
Councilmember Gochner?
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer?
Aye.
Vice Chair Blair?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Thank you.
Just wanted to make one comment. Back when I started on the council in 2008, I served on the CVB committee, and I know they were starting to talk about it then. So I also want to say thank you to Sarah for making it a reality.
Me too.
And next on the agenda is the budget amendment that Mr. Johnson referred to.
I would make a motion that we adopt proposed ordinance 2000. Oh, actually, do we need to set the public hearing?
Right, this is to set the public hearing for December 18th.
So I would make a motion that we set that public hearing for December 18th, 2012.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilmember Wicks and a second from Councilmember Van Hoosier to set the public hearing for December 18th, 2012 to discuss the budget amendment. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That will set the public hearing for that day. And next on the agenda, and well, before I leave that, we also do want to thank UTA and Bruce and Bob for your hard work. And Sarah, you know, as Caitlin mentioned, 4 years in the making, and we're grateful that this is coming about and hope we can really capitalize on this and get some people up on the slopes. So thank you. Next on the agenda is public comments, and this is an opportunity to address the council regarding your concerns or ideas. Please state your name for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. In this form of government, all city personnel are the responsibility of the administration, not of the council. Please discuss any concerns you may have regarding staff with the mayor, chief administrative officer, or department directors.
Robert Foxley, 708 33rd Street. I have you approved this evening a motion for a public hearing on raising the fees at Ogden Hinckley Airport. I'd like to get some information on that. I'm a user out there. I'm a president of a flying club out there, and I'm also the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association volunteer for the Ogden Hinckley Airport, and would like some information so we can come prepared at the public hearing either to make a decision on whether to support or oppose any or all of the proposed fees. Is that possible?
We will get people in touch with you.
Pardon?
We'll make sure we get some information to you and get somebody to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
Chair, if they will meet Laurie out in the hallway there, she'd be happy to talk to him about what's proposed.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Can be anything you want to talk about. Okay, council or comments from administration.
I'm going to ditto the gratitude for UTA and the Convention Visitors Bureau. I also have served on that board for a long time, was with Weber County when we put the ski shuttle together to try and showcase the numbers, and the need for that has been a long time, a big effort, and a lot of collaboration to put that together. So thank you everybody for being great partners with this.
Council staff.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
And council members. Okay. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Gochner and a second from Councilmember Heyer to adjourn the city council meeting. All in favor? Any opposed? Reminder, the City Council work session will be held in the council workroom immediately following this meeting. The purpose of the work session is to discuss proposed ramp projects, applications for fiscal year 2013, and the first quarter budget report and other business. Thank you.